Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and completely rethink how you view those very first paychecks. Because seriously, congratulations on landing that first job. The paychecks are finally starting to roll in, and suddenly, the whole financial world feels wide open. It's an incredibly thrilling time, right? But hey, before you go out and instantly upgrade your entire lifestyle, we need to talk about real wealth construction. Today, we're breaking down some fascinating source material that completely flips the traditional script on how money is actually made, and we're tailoring it specifically for those of you stepping onto the career ladder for the very first time.
For anyone starting out in their career, it is so easy to look at the wealthy, the millionaires you read about or see constantly in the media, and just assume they got incredibly lucky. You might think, oh, they inherited it, or they hit the absolute jackpot on some crazy once-in-a-lifetime bet. But what if becoming wealthy literally had absolutely nothing to do with luck? What if it was actually a highly predictable, measurable formula that you could start applying today right at the dawn of your professional life, taking luck totally out of the equation? Well, that places all the power directly in your hands.
Section 1. The Overnight Success Myth.
So here's the thing. Most people are absolutely chasing overnight success. They want the big win. They want to get rich in a week, a month, or hey, maybe even a single day. It's that lottery ticket mentality, the pursuit of the viral moment, the sudden windfall. But real wealth? It just doesn't work like a lottery ticket. The most successful people out there completely tune out that viral noise. Instead, they focus on getting just 1% better every single day. So when you're at your very first job, it isn't about making $1 million your first year. It's really about shifting your mindset away from that overnight success fantasy and permanently locking your focus onto relentless 1% improvement.
Section 2.
The 1% rule.
Listen, true wealth is never built in sudden, giant leaps. The 1% rule is basically the practice of focusing on tiny, small, 1% improvements every single day. And the source material points out something truly fascinating here. Most people completely ignore this rule. Why? Well, because it isn't flashy. It doesn't make for a dramatic movie montage or a cool viral social media post. But millionaires, they literally live by it, day in and day out. Mathematically speaking, if you get just 1% better every single day, the compounding effect makes you almost 37 times better by the end of the year. As you begin your career, realizing that you don't need to make these massive, stressful, superhuman leaps, you just need to find those tiny, incremental daily improvements, man, that takes a huge weight off your shoulders. It makes success totally accessible.
Section 3. Habits for your first job.
Okay, so these 1% actions are actually incredibly simple to apply to those early paychecks. What does it really look like in practice? Well, according to our sources, it means saving just a tiny bit more than you did yesterday. It means taking the time to learn a little more. Like, say, actually reading up on how your company's benefits work instead of just guessing. It means investing a little more. Or frankly, it can just be avoiding one bad financial decision. Just one. Maybe it's skipping that extremely overpriced daily lunch and bringing food from home. Or just taking a breath before buying something you definitely don't need. Now, these small actions, they seem completely invisible today. If you save an extra $5 this afternoon, you are not going to wake up feeling like a millionaire tomorrow morning. But you have to trust the mechanics of this process.
Over time, those tiny daily choices with your money and your skills create an absolutely massive gap. Think about it. Today, whether you have 0% daily growth or 1% daily growth, the result feels exactly the same. It's totally invisible. You cannot see the difference in real time, which is exactly why so many people just throw in the towel and give up. But over time, 0% growth eventually leads to failure, or at best, total stagnation in your career and your bank account. But that relentless 1% daily growth, that creates a massive, undeniable gap of success. By the time you are 5 or 10 years into your career, the compounding effect of just saving a little more and learning a little more will put you light years ahead of peers who didn't adopt this mindset. It is the invisible becoming undeniable.
Section 4. The Compound Wealth Effect.
The truth is, millionaires aren't created by one massive, highly dramatic career decision. Actually, scratch that. They are created by the power of one, just not in the way you might think. It's not one big sweeping life change. It's the steady, unyielding accumulation of single smart choices. It is all about consistently adding one extra element to your life. The sources break it down so beautifully. One extra buck, one extra skill, one extra investment. It's doing this year after year. When you're at your first job, you're at the absolute baseline of your professional journey, right? If you just read one extra book about your industry, or raise your hand at work to learn one extra skill that makes you more valuable to your team, or make one extra little contribution to your investments each month, the compound interest on your knowledge and your bank account is going to be staggering.
As you navigate this exciting new job, keep this core idea in mind. Thousands of small, smart decisions, year after year. That's how wealth is built. It is not about being the absolute smartest person in the office on day one. Not at all. It is about being the most consistent person in the office from day one onwards. You are building the foundation of your entire financial life right now. Every single time you choose to save a little instead of spend, or learn a little instead of tune out, you are laying another super solid brick in that foundation of real wealth.
So as you head into your job tomorrow morning, I want to leave you with this final provocative question. What is the one tiny 1% improvement you're going to make at work tomorrow? Seriously, it doesn't have to be earth-shattering. Maybe it's finally setting up that automatic transfer into a high-yield savings account. Maybe it's asking a senior colleague for just 15 minutes to learn a new piece of the business. Whatever it is, take that tiny step. Because starting today, you aren't waiting around for some mythical overnight success. You are actively constructing real wealth, 1% at a time. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.